Alright y'all, welcome back to Hot Topics TV. Yesterday we brought you a video about Tori Bowie and her passing at 32 years old. An Olympic gold medalist that was found in her home in Florida dead at 32 years old. All the information we gave you yesterday was mostly about the initial law enforcement information saying that there was no foul play suspected at the time. We have some disturbing updates today, okay? So stay tuned. The video yesterday was also about her history, how much she had accomplished, how she was raised. She's a Mississippi girl, country girl that went on to do great things in track and field from high school days off to college days, then into the pros, and then off to the Olympics. And she was celebrated, and she was also mourned by giants in that field. So she is somebody, but she wasn't somebody that was commercially out there for all of us to say we all knew her. Not like a Shelley and Fraser Price, not like a Elaine Thompson Herah, that kind of stuff. But today, let's get into the information that we have today about Tori Bowie. So the headline says that Olympic gold medalist Tori Bowie looked heavily pregnant, and allegedly, according to some eyewitnesses, she was displaying some erratic behaviors before her mysterious death at the age of 32. Let's get into all the information that we have right here, right? So, track and field star Tori Bowie, which is now mourned and missed, and we send our condolences to her family and her surviving family members and friends, those who knew her personally, those who were close to her. From what we were told, she was just a good person, a sweet, kind-hearted person, and very competitive as well. She trained hard, she ran hard, she competed hard. She competed in multiple different aspects of track and field. She did long jump, she ran in a relay, she did a 100-meter sprint, so on and so forth. A very diverse athlete that was also highly accomplished. Today, the disturbing information that comes forward says that track and field star Tori Bowie appeared to be in the third trimester of pregnancy when she was mysteriously found dead at 32 years old. Damn. That's the first thing I thought. Damn, third trimester of pregnancy. I don't know how they got to no foul play like so quickly. I mean, was it suicide? Or was it, there are a lot of people that are asking also, did she take the vaccine when they were out? We just went through the coronavirus pandemic period where a lot of people were coerced into, or it was mandatory in their field for them to take it in order for them to be able to travel, in order for them to be able to go to certain places and compete, etc., etc. And I don't know if she was one of them that took it, and I don't know if these are side effects from it, but these are questions that people are asking. Here's my disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I know nothing about the coronavirus injections. I am not a scientist, and I am not claiming anything. I am just saying simply that a lot of people are asking this particular question, right? Okay, so it also says that the Olympic gold medalist, she looked around 7 to 8 months pregnant when Orange County deputies carried out a welfare check at 1 p.m. in the afternoon on Tuesday and discovered her lifeless body, according to two of her neighbors who witnessed the ordeal. This was printed by Radar Online, right? These two neighbors gave an account of what they saw. These are people who you will find out later saw her all the time, because they're going to give even more disturbing details, which I will bring to you in a minute, right? So they're saying that she looked about 7 to 8 months pregnant, almost the whole 9 months pregnant. Apparently, friends and family members had not heard from her in quite some time, which was very weird since she was someone that they were in contact with almost on a daily basis. One of her neighbors said, quote unquote, she was a thin woman. She was a thin woman, and it looked like she had like a half a basketball under her shirt when they found her. This is one resident from the Orlando suburb in Winter Garden, Florida, told Daily Mail in an update as they were, combing through the neighborhood, asking the neighbors, hey, did you see anything or hear anything? Did you speak to her on a regular basis? Was she someone that was pleasant? Did she speak back? Did y'all have a relationship as, cordial relationship as neighbors? Or was she someone that like stayed to herself? No one spoke to her. No one hardly saw her coming or going. And the neighbors gave their account of what they saw. And man, they said she looked about 7 to 8 months pregnant when she was found, because they were there when they bust the door open and discovered her and when she was being brought out, right? So a spokesperson for the Orange County Sheriff's Office said that deputies paid a visit to Bowie's home after her loved ones had not heard from her in quite some time. A period of a number of days, which they thought something wasn't right. Let's just go get a wellness check done. So for those of you also who are living probably in another state or another country, I don't know, you might be in the military, you might be traveling, but you have mama at home or daddy at home, you got parents who are elderly, or just a family member or a close friend that lives somewhere in a distance that you cannot get to them right away. You can usually call local law enforcement in the town in which they live and request for law enforcement to go over and do a wellness check. Just let them know that, hey, this is somebody I speak to on almost a daily basis. I'm getting the feeling that something might be wrong, because it is not like them to be out of touch completely, not on the internet, not on social media, not through emails, not on the phone. Can you please go over there and do a wellness check? That's just letting everybody who is listening this know that you actually can do that. I was surprised that a lot of people did not know that that could be done. Anyhow, back to this Tori Bowie story. So entry was made into the residence, right? They knocked off the door, broke the lock, and went in, and tentatively identified as Frentorish, that's her name, Frentorish Tori Bowie. She was found dead inside her home after they, got through the door. And the initial report says no signs of foul play. Now, information about the cause and the manner of her death, according to the police department, they said that the rest of this information will have to come from the medical examiner's office, because we have no additional information to release to the public at this particular time. Now, Bowie's neighbors said that she displayed, this is the part that it gets really weird, right? Okay, she was pregnant, but it gets really weird. Y'all know how women are when they're pregnant? Some women lose it altogether. Like, their hormones are all over the place. They'll find themselves laughing for no reason, then crying and feeling depressed. And, it goes like ups and downs and mood swings and whatnot. I don't know. I'm just saying. So Bowie's neighbors said this part, that she was displaying erratic behaviors over the last couple of months that gave them cause for concern. She was not known to be this type of person. If you know somebody and they're kind of like cool, calm, and collected most of the time, and then all of a sudden they're like acting really erratic and crazy, throwing stuff, shouting, acting out of character, and you're like, wow, that's not really how this person is. What's wrong? This is how her neighbors were describing her in an interview. They said that she was displaying erratic behaviors over the months that gave them a cause for concern. They even mentioned an incident or two. They mentioned one incident where she allegedly, I say allegedly because I wasn't there and this is coming from her neighbors, right? But we're not going to take it as if we were there. So they're saying that they came home and there she was pelting the house across from her house with eggs. She out there with the whole 1 dozen eggs, just throwing the eggs and hitting the people's house across from her house, which they thought was really weird. So the neighbor says, I came out of my house one time and another time, and there she was, standing in the middle of the street, clutching a knife and shouting at a man. Y'all see how I'm adding this up? She's acting erratic. She's pregnant, right? They're saying that she's pregnant anyways. She looks to be about 8 months pregnant, right? And she's outside doing stuff like throwing eggs at the neighbor's house. And then I wonder if she has something with the neighbor. Anyhow, that's just me speculating. But it went on to say that she was standing in the middle of the street. This is her neighbor. I came out of my house one time and she was standing there in the middle of the street, clutching a knife and shouting at a man. This is a person called Zera Ugerlu. Zera Ugerlu, who claimed about another incident. A family friend of mine managed to talk to her and to calm her down, but it was scary. And it made my daughters uncomfortable, is what her neighbors said. I can't imagine her standing in the middle of the street, belly's big, looking like she's pregnant, clutching a knife, shouting at some guy. Who was the guy she was shouting at? And why was she shouting at him? There are so many questions that I have concerning this. Another one says her life was erratic and unhealthy, but I'm very sorry about what happened to her. This is the same Ugerlu person. I don't know why her neighbor would say her life was erratic and unhealthy. Damn. She was so young. Why didn't her friends help? Is what the person went on to ask. Now, prior to her death, Bowie made a name for herself, right? Having last competed in the Olympics, in the 2019 World Championship, rather, not the Olympics, in Qatar. She also notably secured 3 medals in the 2016 Olympics, successfully leading Team USA to a gold medal in the 100-meter relays. To a gold medal in a 4x100-meter relays, that was, right? Mississippi made November 25th Tori Bowie Day. So officially, Mississippi has made November 25th Tori Bowie Day as a result of her accomplishment, an honor that she raved over as both special and humbling. So they didn't wait for her to pass away for them to do this. This was already done. Mississippi, if you are in Mississippi, November 25th is known as Tori Bowie Day. Now, on the day that her body was found, Tori Bowie's sister Tamara posted a cryptic message alluding to mental health struggles while her cause of death remains unknown. Alluding to mental health struggles. It says, listen to this, and then tell me if you think that my original assumption is correct. People who pretend to be happy have some of the saddest souls, and people who do not try to convince the world that they are happy, they have the most genuine souls because they are content with just being them, for them, and nobody else. Wow. And she posted that right after her sister passed. People who pretend to be happy have some of the saddest souls. And people who do not try to convince the world that they are happy have the most genuine souls because they are content with just being them for them and nobody else. Was she trying to tell us that her sister was very unhappy, but she was trying to pretend to be happy, but her soul was really sad? You know, when this story first broke, I told the audience, I said, hey, I don't know what the cause of her death is because in writing, I go off facts. And from the police report, it says, we have nothing further to give. There was no foul play suspected. The rest of information concerning her death will have to come from the coroner's exam, right? And we left it at that. But I did mention that people were talking already and they were saying that it was suicide. If it is so that it was suicide, then that's sad. That's really sad. That's really, really sad. If she really was pregnant to almost full-term pregnancy and suicide, oh man, that is so sad. A lot of people are saying, why didn't her, like her neighbors are saying, why didn't her friends help? Why didn't they save her? Well, take it from me. We say check on your people a lot, right? But sometimes people mask their pain so well that you think that they're happy. You feel like they're happy. And that day they'll meet up with you and they'll give you the laugh of your life, gut busting laugh. And they'll walk away from you and go commit suicide. You know, that was their way of saying goodbye. It was their way of painting the picture how they wanted you to remember them, kind of thing. Unless they're just falling apart mentally and cannot control themselves, then you'll see them like how Tori was described in this video by her neighbors. Erratic behavior, out in the streets, clutching a knife, screaming at the top of her lungs at some man. They didn't describe the man if he was black or white or Asian. Was he in her house while she was out in the streets, or was he out in the streets as well? Is this somebody that they thought she was intimate with? Had they seen her with him before? Like, I just have so many questions, but I'm going to leave it right here, and I will continue to keep you updated on what is released to the public. We could guess and we can speculate, but I prefer to go off proven facts. And we'll leave it right here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, but hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time a update to one of these stories that we cover is uploaded to Hot Topics TV. I'll catch y'all on the next video, man. And for real though, check on your people. All right, I'm out. Peace.